had 14 tackles in a game. I'm 34 years old, and I'm out here getting 14 tackles in a game. That's too many with a PBU.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.
Oh man, we're a little over halfway through the season now. Life comes at you fast. It's been a beautiful thing. So many beautiful lessons throughout it all. I mean, just being right in the middle of it, it's kind of hard to sit back and like really dissect how everything's kind of played out over the last couple months. We just got done beating Tampa Bay yesterday. Last time I was talking on camera, I think I was on the practice squad getting ready to have our first event in Buffalo, which was incredible. We've had two Breath of Life events out here in Buffalo, and shout out to Buffalo and the community out here. Had two beautiful evenings of breath work and dancing and singing, connection and cacao. Besides that, being back on the football field, I mean, I knew coming out here, I was gonna have to get ready to play. I didn't know when that would be. I didn't know how that would be. I didn't know it would be like it is, really. I just knew August 28th was the first day I stepped out in Buffalo, and, to be honest, this off season, I just did a lot more spiritual healing than I did, on the football field. But it all prepared me for kind of how everything's played out. Early in the season, again, being on the practice squad, doing everything from running routes to practice, practice squad, special teams. Obviously now that I'm sitting back thinking about it, I'm playing now, like I'm starting. I really can't even put it into words. I'm just super grateful to be here in Buffalo playing with these guys. I don't want to announce retirement early. I don't know what next year looks like, but really just enjoying now for what it is. It is hard. It's extremely challenging. In the Atlanta game, both of the safeties go down. T-Rap went down first, so like here we are in the middle of in week 5, in the middle of the game, like crucial minutes. I hadn't played a real snap of football since my last snap in Miami, and here we are. Last week I'm on the practice squad. Now I'm in the middle of this game, midway through the second quarter into the third quarter, and then Cole got hurt, so I ended up finishing the game. Following week, T-Rap got hurt in practice. D-Ham got hurt in the same day in practice, and both of them are out for an extremely long period of time. And so it's like, hey, Po, you up? And so it was like, holy shnikes, like I'm in the game. And I've got the first start against Carolina. I think we beat them pretty good, like 24-9. The Chiefs, I feel like the next game after that, we played extremely well against them and beat them. And we go down to Miami. Oh my gosh, man, we go down to Miami. A lot of emotions that week for obvious reasons, and you go down there and get just tough one to swallow. I was pretty bummed for a good, 24, 48 hours. But, that's, again, throughout all the work that I've done, on myself and, again, through, you realize, like, it's a game. You keep stepping. It's not the first and probably not the last time you lose a game that you just don't want to lose one, and the way you lose it too. I've got Hail Married on against DeAndre Hopkins. That was probably one of the lowest of my career. That play right there, that game. We won 8 straight after that, and so it's like games like that, right? You just hop back in the saddle and keep working, and that's what we did. We hadn't played Tampa Bay. This would be yesterday, the following week, and we won in a crazy game, 44-32, just a shootout. I mean, that's some games are like that too. You'd want to hold teams under 21 points each game, but sometimes it's not like that. You just got to keep playing, and Cole has been playing out of his mind, and we played Thursday night against Houston. Yeah, man, it's just taking one day at a time. Super grateful to be here. The fans have just been nothing but love, and that's why I want to keep doing stuff in the community, keep showing up in the community, even if it's not the Breath of Life, just pulling up to kids camps and kids events, and just being out there as much as I can, because I'm grateful for it all. All the moments, the good, the bad. Because you look back, you look back on it all, and it's really all just part of it. It's all part of lessons, and you get to choose in that moment how you want to respond, and that's the beauty of life, right? Because a lot of times you get hit in the mouth, and sometimes you want to stay down, and you're like, fuck, man, you just want to stay down. You don't want to get up, but get up and keep going, keep stepping, stay in the process. I had probably one of my better games last week after we lost to Miami, and I had 14 tackles in a game. I'm 34 years old, and I'm out here getting 14 tackles in a game. That's too many with a PBU. At the time, I accepted the idea that I was coming back to be on the practice squad. I didn't know what that was going to look like, feel like. At the time, I just knew I had an opportunity to go retire at Buffalo Bill, where I spent most of my career, where I made my name on the football field, and I wanted to go out the right way, because last year was a bad taste in my mouth going to Miami, and not playing as well as I wanted to play, the team not doing as well as we had expected, and I wanted to go out the right way. And if I had the choice, I was going to go back and be on the practice squad. And if I was on the practice squad all year, and that was what it was going to be. But that's obviously not what it is. And so your mindset shifts real quickly when you're told you're up, right? You're I mean, your whole life changes. When you get that year up, and you're up for a while, it's a different lifestyle, it's a different mindset, it's a different everything. But I prepared my whole life for these moments, for these challenges. I've been through them before, in, call it, even tougher circumstances, because it's going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's why there's 1% of us that does it. And when you just take one day at a time, literally one step at a time, one breath at a time, and you just put your focus on where it needs to be, it always works out in the end, right? It always works out in the end. You look back and you're like, man, I was stressing about this, I was stressing about that, didn't need to be, so just flow. Just let go and go play.